Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, guys. Hey, first we want to say happy holidays to everybody. We hope everybody's having a great holiday season. You know, this is the start of holiday season. Everybody just came back for Thanksgiving. I'm happy to be here with my guys. I haven't done this in a while, so I appreciate you, Steve, for asking me to come on.
Are you hosting
to
tonight?
The Deep Surface Podcast, my guy.
Listen, you Otis, bro.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ain't nobody came to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody came to see you.
I sit there like, what?
Wait a minute. Somebody else. Hey, listen. It's okay. It's a holiday season, right? It's okay for somebody else to open up. You do 320.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't get humble by people. God got to only be the person to humble me.
Well, listen here.
I'll be honest with you.
Well, guess what? God sent me here tonight to open up for you. So for my guy, I'm opening up. So happy holidays, my brother.
I love you,
But
my
go
guy.
ahead, brother. Do your thing.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, man.
Go ahead.
But I was talking about before we was like off camera, man. I was talking about.
Come on in the room.
You better
Come on in the room.
Oh, Jesus
is my doctor.
Hey, come on.
Are we done? Okay, cool.
No, you're done. And he rides
see,
down
this
all
guy really think he's LeBron.
And yeah. You're done.
In the room. Nah.
How y'all doing, man? Listen, you can see that we're happy to be back, man. This is brotherly love right here. I hadn't seen my guys in a long time, especially my guy right here, man, Mr. J, bro. It's been a long time, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You sitting here is surreal. It's a kind of the synopsis of life where it's like full circle, correct? You know what I mean? Like you go through life and you go through so many different obstacle courses and so many different changes, and you have to sometimes disconnect from your brothers physically but never spiritually, right? Because the spiritual connection always ensure that the physical connection can be brought back to life. You know what I mean? Because we have to go out sometimes.
Yep.
We have to go discover ourselves and see, why we're here. That's the purpose of life. I'm only here. The reason why I'm so interested in evolution is because I want to know why I'm here. It is within the interest of my entire being to know why I exist. That's why I'm getting all the relationships in my life cleared out. I'm making amends for everything I've ever done to any person I've ever done it to. It doesn't matter if they was wrong. It doesn't matter if I was wrong. I'm cleaning the slate because I want to evolve. I don't want to have weights on me. I don't want to be bogged down by imaginary things that illusions and they keep me down. Things in my head like they did this or they did this. You deserve this. No, man, we deserve to just evolve.
Yeah.
I love the idea that you've evolved. I love the idea that you had to go to you had to go here. You had to go to that thing, that valley that people talk about, they preach about, it sounds good with its own podcast, but when you actually freaking live in that crap, because it's every day. It ain't like a movie. It's every single day. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I've watched you. And your story is incredible. You're a phenomenal being, and I mean that, brother. I know life gets hard for black men. We struggle a lot. That's what this podcast is about, the elevation of black men. This is the extension of the core. This is the deep surface experience where we bring the deep issues of our life and bring them to the surface. And we sacrifice and we put them on the altar, right? Mm-hmm. We sacrifice our issues for the betterment of evolution so we can get our children over. Because we got to know, because if we want to dominate, the reason why I love evolution, because I understand power now and power dynamics and how power truly works. And if we want to be a ruling class, I'm not saying we got to be the only ruling class. I'm not suggesting that. But if we want to dominate the next 40 to 50 years of life, we got to evolve mentally. We got to understand where society's going. We can't be so disagreeable about everything. We have to learn to have proper discourse. We can disagree. Mm-hmm. We have to learn how to build solutions. You did that. A part of you building yourself to where you are now from where you were then is a contribution to evolution. You could have gave up and became a statistic. You could have been mad at the world, did something stupid, and went to jail. I seen where you were. I understood I watched it. Like I don't know. This is not like I feel like I'm a pastor like prophesying to you, something like that. I feel like I'm about to give you a prophecy. But this is not that.
Dr.
This
Talbot.
is like this is real. But this is real. I walk beside you. I've seen it. The tears, we've shared them. We've walked each other's when nobody was looking. Like, and now to see you continuing to walk. Not to say that anything extravagant happened, but just you growing every day.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Something extravagant didn't happen for me.
Oh, go ahead. But hey, Jay, I just want.
I appreciate you.
My guy,
The
go ahead,
extravagant thing that happened for me was I was able to find myself.
We ain't leaving you out. We still love you. Go ahead.
That was
no,
the
it's
extravagant
okay.
thing because you said it's not nothing like anything extravagant happened. Not for the onlookers, right?
Yeah.
For the onlookers,
Yeah.
It was okay. It was they saw him the growth. But for me, the thing that was extravagant for me was I was able to overcome things that I didn't know I could because strength is all I have, right? But for me, evolution. If I would be remiss to say with evolution to forget the history because I can't. Because a lot of people with evolution want to say, well, we evolved. Let's not worry about it. Well, I can't forget
Oh, you
where
can't
I started.
forget. Yeah.
I have to remind myself. It's that you can't be so stuck into where you were at and keep remembering that's something that becomes an enigma to you and keeps you from becoming more than and being successful to your anger. But for me, I can't never forget. And I would never allow that. For even with me evolving and becoming, because I'm not where I want to be, but I'm further than where I was at. Yeah. I got so much more that I want to go, so much more that I'm going to do. But I'm grateful, and I'm grateful that I'm not where I started at, and I'm able to show and to show up, right? Because there was a point where I couldn't show up. I would be there, but I wasn't showing up. I can actually show up now, right? And I never. It's not about. So when I left here 7 years ago, I said this. I said I needed. For me, my growth required elevation, for the separation. In the preparation for me, right? That was what I did, right? I needed to separate myself, to elevate myself. That's what I needed. I needed to separate from everything I knew that I was comfortable with, because I was complacent, because I could run to people. I needed to be put in a position where I could grow, because you can't grow where you're comfortable. Your faith can't be tested unless you be able to stretch. Yeah. And I was able to stretch my faith. Even some days I would call and be like, hey man,
Shaky.
hey man, look at
Shakington.
It's shaky at best, man. I'm ready to get this thing up and come back to the other side.
Hey, when them days get shaky, it gets shaky, don't it?
Hey, look here.
Be teetering. Them ramen noodle days.
But he gonna put you in a position where you come through that only you can give him the praise, because I went to everybody to put me through and they couldn't do it. Right? I had days where tears became my meat, days and nights where I didn't eat, even over there in my progress. So don't think because you're in the process you escaped it, right? See, a lot of people want the victory without going through the process, right? Yeah, they want to be triumphant without the trials.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm one of those people that want the victory.
Hey, I wanted it too.
But you know
listen,
what?
I do. I want the. I'm just kidding. I want the victory too as well.
The victory is the sweetest part, but you will never be able to appreciate it except you actually go through the process.
I beg to differ, Ivan, and respectfully, right? The process for me was the sweetest part.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
it was defining.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
No, he said the victory. He said the victory.
I
said the victory.
I said the victory.
Yes.
The victory looks like or feels like the sweetest part, but it's always going to be you will never actually be able to experience or understand the sweetness of the victory
without the
except the process.
Guess what I would never do? I used to wish I could just get there. I'm glad I could never skip the process.
Yeah.
The process is what molds and shapes you and what builds you. Mm-hmm. And because if you just go, because you know what? I always used Jericho, you know. I always got that, right? When they went out there, they marched around the wall 7 times. First day they marched around, you know, they had a whole army with them when they first went out there. Everybody was with them. Oh, we going out there. Walls didn't fall. Second day went out there. And every day the army kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it wasn't until the 7th day where it was very few men that still believed in it. And then when they went and they blew, the trumpet and the walls of Jericho came falling down. That's the process. Because people who start with you, everybody won't finish.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some people at the finish line that didn't start with you.
Yeah.
Then you got to understand their place in your life when that happens.
That's good.
That's good. You preaching tonight.
That's good.
You sound like a mega church pastor.
You think I can get me one of them? Creflo, I'll let your boy. Nah, I'm joking.
Can I start you a church? No, I mean, you had like 40 sayings. I was like, God.
No,
you was rhyming and everything.
No,
but it's good though.
That's the process. I swear.
It's tough.
It's still tough.
Absolutely, that's what
not,
I'm saying. This is why I talk about evolution so much and human evolution, and why this is what this podcast is about. This is about trying to rise above and realizing that we will always be in process. This is not like, we need to stop telling people about destinations. There is none. There is just you. Whatever you're going to get. If you accumulate money, then what you're going to say to yourself? I want more money.
Oh, listen.
You accumulate some more money, then you're going to say to yourself, I want more money.
Let me tell you something about money.
All of that requires a process. All of that requires you continuing to do something. Because if you get the most money in the world, you just can't sit there. People are going to have to go do something. Right. Because it requires, so you will always be in the process. You can have all the money in the world. You can visit every place in the world. But you're still going to have to do something.
You know what I say, Steve? And I'm going to tell everybody, your viewers, is I thought it was about chasing money, right? And you were absolutely correct. You get you 100,000, you want 200,000. You're never going to make enough money. I always say that, right? But I understand this, right? In dealing with things, in dealing with humans and emotions, right? You have problems that money can solve.
Yeah.
And then when you get the money it's problems that money don't solve. And that is when that spiritual, is when that spiritualness, your divine intervention has to play. What are you going to do? Because money you used to be like, if I get $100 million, I'm going to do this. Oh yeah, but what about the things that money can't solve?
And
what about those father issues?
And the problem is so many people actually believes that if you have but so much, you can actually solve all problems.
Oh, you can't. Money don't solve all problems. It's things that money can't solve. Money can't make your daddy was a part of your life when he wasn't there, or your mother be there, right? Money doesn't change your thought processes of it can change your financial status. Right. But if you got a suicidal thought before you got the money and idolations of committing suicide, money don't change that. All money does is get you a better therapist if that's what you seek to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I think it's a matter of, I like to talk. Money's such a broad scope because it means different things to different people. It's so subjective. Some people care about it, some people don't. But the bottom line here.
Get me wrong now, I do care about it.
Yeah, that money.
Mucho dinero, dollar bill, yen and marks, but it's problems that money can't solve, and I do have
them. The Bible says that it's the answers to all things. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that. It'll tell you how you are because it opens up who you really are.
Okay, elaborate. This is what I want you to do for everybody. You need to elaborate because that is very vague. When you say money is the answer for all things, it gives the illusion that money can solve all problems. But that's not what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is money reveals. Money is it opens up the portals of, it helps you be the being. Because what money is our golden ticket. And it opens up different portals for you to be able to go act out and express yourself in any way.
So what does money do? Money don't, people always say money change people, right?
No, it doesn't change you.
It makes you more of who you already were.
Absolutely, or who you want to be. And listen, that is a great thing, actually. Good, bad, or ugly, because you want to know who you are. It's the quickest way to know who you are. Now, when you ain't got no money and you ain't rich, you have to do what we do. You have to struggle. You got to go through the process.
No. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that I say.
Be honest.
I'm gonna tell you something that I say. Right. Money reveals people around you. Right. See, people like
they cut that on time.
They say money change people. Your money don't change people. When they get money, it changes them. Right. Because when you got money, they're going to be who they need you to be, who you want them to be. But when they got money, you're going to find out who they really are because they no longer need you. Money exposes the person, the people around you for who they really are. Yeah. When you the only one who got money, everybody around you is your love. They love you. They free.
And that's how it answers all things.
That's how it answers all things. Yes. So that's what he means when he says.
But it answers about, it also answers the question about
yourself.
The individual that's standing with the money.
Absolutely.
So that scripture's a double-edged sword. It's not just for the crowd or the onlookers or the one who don't got the treasure. How can you help spread that treasure? Can you turn the 2 fish and 5? You know what I mean? Can you multiply that amongst your brothers? Can you put them in positions? Are you willing to put them in positions, or do you want to just fulfill your desires? That's why money, even if you got money, you know where your heart is with money.
Yeah.
You know if you're just fulfilling your desires. You know if you want to help the world. You don't have to. I'm not saying that's what your mission is, but what I'm saying is it answers everything. It answers our nature, our lustful nature, and all of us have it.
I don't know. I don't say lust. I don't lust for money.
No, not everybody, but we want it. Listen, lust is not really an emotional thing. It's just a function of who we are, of our nature.
But lust is a sin, though. Now,
listen, so I get that, but that's what I'm talking about. Evolution. Evolution. I want to suck the emotional response.
Pause. You gotta give the pause. You have to do that. I got it. You gotta pause, and we gotta stop it here. At some point, we gotta stop this. I was gonna let you ride, but I gotta give you a pause now. Hold up. You kept saying it. Now the first time, okay. The second time, I'm like, all right, cuz you're gonna say pause. But now, all right now. You gotta pause that. We're not editing that, Tim. We ride with that because they need to see that.
Yo, what?
You know what I'm saying? That was mad wild, though. That was wild. But go ahead. I get what you're saying. That was wild, though. That was wild. I got it. That was mad wild, though.
Yo, you gotta use that clip.
You gotta use. That was mad wild, though. Go ahead, though. All right, man. Go ahead. My bad. Yo, that was mad wild.
What are we talking about?
No. He was.
As I was saying,
you were saying you want to pull the evolution.
You want to pull the evolution.
You want to pull the emotion.
Right.
You want to pull the emotion out of evolution.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, go ahead. All right, cool.
y'all going to hell, bro.
No.
I was saying it the second time.
Yeah.
I said it, and I
You gotta have that.
and I was like,
No.
Man.
Oh boy. Let's go. We're not editing that till we rock with that. No, you're already right.
Well, you trying to kind of show them expensive clothes, ain't you?
They what
Trying to put us on blast, ain't you?
Never that, sir.
What was I saying?
The evolution. How you want to pull the evolution?
You want to pull the emotion out of evolution.
Right.
And what I want to do is not necessarily, you can't get rid of emotion because it's a part of us too as well. So I don't want to live in fantasy land, okay?
Right.
But what I want to do is learn how to manage how we look at definitions and words and things we say and not
Experience the emotion,
yeah.
but don't become the emotion.
Absolutely.
Manage expectations.
Yeah. And even the words we say. You know, how we deal with, what we, I can't get over the pause.
But I think if we get into the fact of, if we get into the point of managing others' emotions, now it's almost like a control. We want that, right? We want people to have an emotional attachment to evolution, so that's how you don't forget the history of it. Think about it. If we didn't have emotional attachment, let's be clear, no one in this room has endured slavery. However, our forefathers, our ancestors has, right?
No, yeah, I'm glad you brought
They have, right? So we have the emotional attachment to the history of it.
That's what so that can't go in evolution. That's what I mean right there. That's a prime example. And it is understanding the function of how that works. That's why I talked about power. So, like, how do we, instead of looking at that operation as a oppressive thing, how did they accomplish that? Because I don't want to enslave anybody, but I want to know what did they do so history won't repeat itself? How do we study people? We don't always need to attach. We need to figure out the nuance of the behavior of your so-called oppressor, or what the behavior was, so you're not bound to repeat it. So what I'm saying is, it's not detached from evolution. That's what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying detach from emotions, because you can't do that. But what I'm saying, while evolving, we have to learn that everything from our past, we can't bring that stuff over because it's a new day. And
can we completely get rid of it?
Absolutely not.
And the reason why I say that is because it's literally the forms of hierarchy and capitalism. If you remove the forms of hierarchy and capitalism, now there's no separation, and now you have a socialist society.
Can you do something for me though? Explain to me hierarchy. When you use the term hierarchy, please define that.
Okay, so when I mean hierarchy, I mean we live in a society that's based on classism.
It is.
So I have to disagree. When you say classes, right? Because when I talk about classes, I'm thinking about in the caste system, they had classes. Doesn't matter where you were born, if your last name was this, if your last name was that, you were in this group. No matter how smart you were, you could never go further than you could never be any more than a daggone someone who put the ironsmith. Mm-hmm. Or you could be more than an apprentice. Or it doesn't matter, you could be the dumbest kid in your family and you're heir because you were born into this class, you were the higher class. I don't believe that, because in America, you could be born into the lowest class and become the president of the United States of America. So when you say caste systems and you say hierarchy, let's not use that term, because what that means is, doesn't matter how smart I am or how hard I work, I can never be more than what my last name or what system or what class that I'm classified as was born in. No, because I can be a black man and be a CEO, or I can be a black man and be the president. Because he showed us that excuse of using hierarchy, that's just an excuse to me.
Well, no, and I 100%, I definitely understand that. I get that, but it doesn't change the fact that it exists. Because myself, I could become a CEO.
Are you saying like
company.
the Walmarts? Is that a caste if I'm born into a Walmart? Because is that a class? Do you define the Walmart?
No, I'm not saying being born into a class. What I'm saying is we're defined into classes. There's always going to be a poverty. There's going to be a working class. There's going to be a middle class.
And a ruling class.
But this is who is defined. When you say we, who is we? You talking about African Americans, or you talking about individual people?
I'm talking about
a broad stroke.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I want
capitalism as a whole.
As a whole. We were talking about in
no.
slavery, and then he went to hierarchy. And I'm like, well, we giving a false, kind of like it's almost like you're showing a false summit. Like this is the peak, but when I get there, that's not the peak. There's because
no. So I don't want a person to believe that because your beginnings were humble, your latter ends can't greatly increase. Okay. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying that as capitalism exists, we can't change that those classes are always going to exist. And what Steve was asking is, how do we get to the point where slavery is no longer a thing?
I don't think we should ever get to the point where slavery is not a thing. I think that we should get to a point when we talk about the slavery, it should be less impactful, but it should still be heard and understood.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I said manage. I said the emotion's going to be there.
Right.
Yeah, I said the emotion's going to. I agreed. Yeah. You can't detach. So what I said is how we approach it. Now we need a more strategic approach versus a visceral, emotional response to it. Is what I'm saying. Even to some degree, how we respond to the word nigger.
No.
Listen, I'm not. Listen, what I'm telling you is that we are in a different place now. The work that I believe our people is.
You sound like a Monday Clayton Bigsby right now.
No, I'm not. The work is in front.
Come
the
on,
work
Dave.
that is in front of us is a mirror. I think it's now we're raising our intellect. We're in higher positions. We can do things. So now, how do we collectively bring each other along? Now, how does that look? I don't know, but now we figure it out because now we're the leaders. So what I mean by take the emotions out of things, we're going to be sitting in the boardrooms. We're going to be making the decisions now. And some decisions in life have to be hard decisions. Everybody can't be a chief. Everybody dreams everybody ain't going to be the LeBron James in your crew. For example, in everybody crew, they got somebody who can be, all right, you can help us get out of poverty quick. I call it the LeBron James effect.
Mm-hmm. You have to protect that.
That's what the LeBron. Look at LeBron. You could just look at it. Look, they said, okay, you LeBron James. And then what LeBron James said, I want to be relevant. How many people are, LeBron James is the greatest, I ain't going to get on LeBron, but he's the greatest athlete physically we've ever seen, and possibly the greatest athlete ever.
Right.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I think a percentage of that.
But he's charged with a job, though.
No, what I'm saying is I think a percentage of that is how his infrastructure was built. It allowed him to just play basketball.
He surrounded himself by people, like-minded individuals that came up through the same stroke. He didn't go out and get the Ivy League guy.
No.
He didn't go out and get this guy that graduated. His man, Rich Paul, they talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
No, he had a high school degree, diploma, no college degree, #1 sports agent. That's running Clutch Sports. He surrounded himself by like-minded individuals that understood the struggle where he came from. But what he always does is he never allows anyone to forget the poverty that he came. the struggles of black people. You got to give them a reminder, because the minute you don't remind them, they forget. Let me tell you something, and I'm not a racist guy at all, but white people want to forget. Hold on, look how he said, I'm far from it. But white folks want to forget slavery as quick as possible. Anything possible. If I can give you reparation and give you $100 million for everybody to forget about slavery, I would do it. And I'm not charging all white folks, because that's their ancestors and their forefathers. But we can't allow you to forget. I won't allow you to forget, because that's part of what made us who we are today.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing we can do to not make anybody forget who we are is to be better than what we was.
I agree.
And keep getting better. I think keep getting better. I think it's like our conversation. That's what I'm talking about. Raising our prowess on what we talk about. You know, that's why these type of conversations are beautiful. 3 black men, strong alpha males talking, trying to build harmony in a conversation. So when it goes out into the world, it can help somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's real out here.
But
man.
you have to put that pause in there when you say certain things as strong black men. You just can't run wild. You gotta understand. But we gotta do that. We gotta let them know we gotta humor. We gotta let them know that.
Listen, that was the greatest pause moment. I'm never gonna do that again, bro. Tim, you better take it out, bro.
No, don't.
I promise you.
Tim, you cannot edit that pause. That has to go in, because it shows us we're humans.
No, I ain't that type of human.
We understand that.
Nah, let's clear that shit up.
Wait.
I take that out, Tim.
No, go ahead. I do want that clip sent to me personally.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah, I wish I had my phone set up to capture that on live. Go ahead.
It's but we're gonna. This is a part of the mission here, of the objective here, is to help. You're just gonna interrupt me when I'm talking. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I'm just pondering on what you. No. I was just pondering on what you're saying.
Good.
And the only way that we actually do that is by learning from our teachers' failures.
Yes.
Because when we think about how this country was set up, right, it was based on a slavery class, right? And technically that class still exists. We want to pretend like it's still there. They're just called lower paying jobs, and that's enough for shelter.
We're not the only ones in it, though. So when you say that.
No, we're not. No, we're not. What I'm saying is that.
So I don't want to confuse you, because when we say slavery jobs, when we say slavery jobs.
You gonna let them finish?
No, I got to stop them right here real quick, and I'm going to let you finish. You said slavery jobs.
Jay, you out of control.
No, not slavery jobs. Jobs.
He did not say slavery jobs.
Jobs. No.
Listen to him, bro. That's why I'm saying let him finish.
Jobs that will actually still provide for you the exact same way slavery did, with just enough to shelter you and feed you. That's what I mean by that. We have low-paying jobs that only can shelter and feed you. That means that there's no money for great linens. There's no money to do anything extra. It's very hard to actually even manage transportation. We actually have that same level of classification of jobs now. The difference is before they were providing shelter and food. Now they're providing you enough for shelter and food. And so that's what I mean by that. I don't mean that it actually, and so what I'm saying is the only way that we keep that from actually still being a thing is we're going to actually have to educate from bottom to top and not make the same mistakes that our teachers made. Because they set an entire country up based on that capitalist mindset, and we have to look at it being more social, not necessarily completely social, because if you do, then now there's no separation. And I don't know if people like that. Me personally, I like capitalism. I'm just being honest.
Capitalism, capitalism at its core is it's a competitive sport. But there's corruption in capitalism.
But it's a necessity, Steve.
No,
you don't want your neighbors. So you don't want to be living in $1 million house and you worked your butt off and went to this school, but your neighbor just came up and he lived right next door.
I'm not arguing with you. Listen, I'm okay with it.
We know you're a Trump supporter. We understand. You want to make America great again. You want to edit that out?
No. Do you think I'm gonna vote for Trump? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm not asking, because I would never violate.
Well, how did we get?
I don't know. Here it is.
The people want to know.
I think Trump is one of the most fascinating characters in the history of mankind. I think he's polarizing. I think he's mysterious. I think he's a man of many people. He's like a lightning bolt, a solar eclipse. But if I'm being totally honest, from a political standpoint or viewpoint, I'm not voting for Trump.
Well, that was a joke.
Listen. I'm getting there because I'm glad you brought it up because I didn't want to talk about. I was talking about it in my sister's house. But I believe the system that we speak about. You talk about slavery, right? And there was a certain system created, and through that system, it has just grown massive, and it works on its own now. Mm-hmm. And there's been nobody or nothing, no president, no figure to be able to put a dent in that system.
Speaking of that system, call it what it is.
That's what I'm saying. So this man, Trump, when he was in office, because of his ego, because of the very thing that people love and hate about him, will be the very thing that tears the very system down. So what I'm saying,
didn't Ross say that?
So what I'm saying is,
Ross said that, right?
So he is I believe he is necessary for history. He's necessary
Absolutely.
for the next evolutionary part in history. Because yes, chaos will ensue.
You need to destroy.
Listen, people will die. Make no mistake about it. There will be ravaging all across the country. There will be famine. Like this is, in order for, when Rome fell, this is how it happened. When Greece fell, when the Persians fell, they needed somebody polarizing, and he is that, because what he's going to do is incite what we call the civil war. It's already ensuing. Go on Twitter right now. Go on X right now. You got religious groups fighting against each other.
Well, isn't that what Ross said though? You got to destroy before you elevate.
Absolutely.
That's what he said, right?
What I'm saying is we used to understand that as a country. I think that's what the MAGA thing was about, but it got played as something racist. But it is something racist.
Definitely is.
There's a racial component wrapped all the way up in there.
Racial undertone all the way
now. But what I'm saying is that I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm an American. I like America. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like living here. I don't want to go live nowhere else.
Could it be you like living in America because this is the only place you've ever lived?
Wait, we'll call it that too.
Okay.
And so listen. So what I'm saying is that by any means necessary, I think the greatest compliment to my ancestors is to fight for the betterment of the countries, because the Constitution, though we weren't included into it, if you look at the values on it, if you look at it on its face value, so life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that's virtue. That is something to ascribe to. No, we wasn't included in that, but now I'm here, bro, and I intend in my years here to figure out and have prosperity and abundance. And if I have to learn the system, if I have to become a part of the system, if I become whatever I have to do for me and my family to live in abundance, not just with money, but the freedom of thought, freedom of idea sharing, freedom of being who I am, I'm moving that way, and I want to bring my people with me. So a guy like Trump, when I'm watching him, he a motherfucker, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Listen. Did you just bleep yourself?
No, listen. He is Trump. Listen, he polarizing. Guys like that don't come around. He's once in a lifetime generational. You can call him whatever you want to call him, but he is. And I think you can try to get rid of him, but this country deserves him. Let's get real. The sins we did, whatever we gonna get, whatever's coming, because it's coming. It's coming. Because the people, us too, we the fun guy. We be pointing at the politicians like we ain't the one executing everything. We got all the power in our hands. It's like 350 million of us in one little Washington D.C. and we still ain't got no power, but we looking at them because we won't do nothing. We're the herd. We're the problem. It ain't Trump. He a figure that we created.
You know what? To say that
we the people.
That's what I'm saying. We created that. That's why this is why we exist now, Ivan. Because God, it ain't about even waking up. It's about let's just look around. Just look around you. This system No matter how many times we didn't try to protest, no matter how many times we didn't try to poke at it, no matter how many times we tried to say, oh, police shootings, Black Lives Matter, we seen where's that at right now? It's gone. It's nowhere. Listen what I'm saying, though. But now, what do we do now? All these things have dissolved. We didn't try it all. What are we going to try now? It's time to learn how to reason.
So just to reason? That's
what I'm saying is, let's start figuring out, let's start that ground zero.
I don't understand what you mean when you say, to me, reasoning.
No.
It's never been an option to reason with
I'm not talking about reason with no Trump. I'm not for no.
I'm talking about in its entirety, right? You say we have the power. Do we have the power? You say strength is in numbers. Yeah. But you have to have knowledge. You just can't have numbers.
Yeah, that's
the problem. You just got a bunch of numbers with no knowledge. And we're not keeping ourselves back from the knowledge, right? We have to teach ourselves, and we're trying to teach ourselves. I agree with you. We do kill ourselves. We do hold ourselves back, right? We had Trump. We need to destroy before we elevate, right? But do we deserve Trump?
No, I'd say the sins of, no, I ain't saying just us. I'm talking about America in whole.
Yeah, I get what
that's
you're saying.
What I'm saying is in totality. How we act, our greed, how we act towards each other. Just look at our murder rate. Look at how many, we got weapons. Mass shootings. Yeah. Like, look at the people dying diseases. Look at what restaurants, we just intentionally kill each other with the foods we eat. Like, they intentionally just serve it to us. We do it to each other willfully. Our parents, our kids, we bring home stuff and they die high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high sodium. And we just, we cry. Well, we killed them. We all do it. We're all participating in this thing. We create these images and these figures, then we blame them. Because it's all we do. We're a projection. We're looking out at ourselves. That's the whole thing with this. We getting it wrong. Listen, we're the sovereign. You remember that? We're the sovereign that we gave them power. We agreed after they agreed to give them a certain class of people power. That's how we're the herd. We just follow along with everything that go to. We just copy along what people say. But really, there's a real war going on outside within us. That's why now we're gaining knowledge. And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm strategic now. I want efficiency. I don't want to live on how I feel anymore. I want to live on what's going to get us to the next level. Will there be casualties? I might be a casualty. I'm willing to accept that. I might be one of the ones that don't make it over. I'm willing to accept that. I've accepted my fate already. I don't care. I'm for real about this. This ain't podcast.
Well,
listen, hold on for a second. This is real. But I ain't mean to get off all the net.
I'm glad that you because
what's Dallas score? Go ahead.
I'm never willing to just accept it and just say, I can't get away from the feelings and emotion. Now, I'm not going to act on emotions because they call that, when you act on emotions, you've been irrational. But I will always make sound mind bodies decisions based off of smart decisions, and a little emotions will always be involved because emotions is what drives the decision ultimately, right? You say bias, you can't have bias without having emotions in it, right? People are always going to look out for their own people. Do you say we needed, society needed, America needed somebody like Trump? Maybe we did to destroy ourselves, but it didn't bring us together. It divided us more often. But I do believe this, though. I believe that it's gonna be a day of reckoning that's gonna come, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I be saying that kumbaya stuff, but ain't none of that gonna happen. We ain't coming together. We gonna be divided. Let's just be honest. Let's just break the walls down. We ain't coming together. We're not gonna come together. Let's just be honest. We're not gonna come together because now we got a hold of so much information now. We think what we want to think now. We're full-blown individuals now. I'm sorry. This is where we are with it, man.
Well, being that I lived in another country, you say America is a great country to live in, right?
I think
but
so.
I've lived in other countries that they respect and love a black man. They treat you like a king in every country but the one that you built. And I can speak on that because I live in another country, and I've been to several other countries, a multitude of other countries, frequent other countries on multiple occasions. I don't just fly through the airports and say I've been there. I'm talking about I've encountered the locals. I've talked to the people. I've embraced them. I've understood their culture. They've embraced me as a king, as a black man. I say this all the time. Black is the only color that can reprocreate itself. Anything that you mix with black ceases to exist. They tried it. It didn't work. Everybody's tried it. You mix it with an Arabic, it's black. Mix it with white, it's black. Latino, it's black. Black will be survived of all things at the end of time. So outside of this country that they built you to believe that's the best country in the world, there's other countries out there that will appreciate and love you. America's so great because they allow you to do anything you want to do. And the same thing they allow you to do, anything you want to do, is the same thing that destroys us.
Yeah.
Because you can do anything you want to do.
You're going to do anything.
You're going to do anything you want to do, and that's going to destroy you. And that's going to make you feel like, oh, it's the best. Everybody think, oh, it's the best country. But they think when you go to other countries, you can't say, in the country I live in now, you can't speak against the government. Okay, here you can speak against the government. You can speak out. You can't. Women don't have those rights. I don't agree with that. I think everybody should have those rights, right? But I do believe that America gives too much leniencies on too many things is why we're so far behind. The reason we're a superpower because they are afraid of us because we have these weapons that we can take things and we have a massive army, superpower. It's not because it's the freedoms of everything we got. People want to run over here because they are oppressed in a lot of different places.
But Jay, exactly what you're saying, and why I'm saying we need something to tear down this system, because look what we've become.
We need some restraints.
What I'm saying is we cannibalize each other.
Yeah.
All day long, our only pursuit is to feel our own goodness. We're looking to feel good. Everywhere is feel good devices, hookahs, weed, alcohol.
I like my hookahs.
What I'm saying is that all these unnatural devices, a lot of these unnatural devices to make us feel good because we're out of touch with nature. We're so far apart. That's why I'm saying we can't go back there. Listen, but we can't.
You know I love me some Henny too.
I know, but what I'm telling you
just
is,
trying to tell you, stupid. You know I love me some Henny. I'm guilty. In the country I live in, ain't got no Henny. Oh, you know I love me some Henny and some hookah. Henny and hookah, I'm guilty of it. Give me some Casamigos Reposado. Look here, boy. Look here.
Boy, you sound like a stereotype.
I'm gonna be what you want me to be.
A walking one. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But you know,
it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know, so we getting there, man. You know, we getting there. That's why like life is. That's why we have. I believe in proper discourse. I believe in men being able to talk, people being able to talk about their issues.
But I love life, though. Let's
Absolutely.
talk about it. I love life. You know why, man?
Okay.
Because every day I wake up with a chance to make a difference in something.
Yeah.
Any day that he wakes me up is a day that I can make something different.
Yeah.
I can make a difference from yesterday to today. And that's why, regardless of where I wake up in this world, as long as it ain't in a hospital, prison, or in the grave, you ain't gonna wake up in the graveyard, so I ain't gotta say that. But hospital or prison, or hospice or whatever in that nature.
Yeah, right.
I can walk up on my own accord, I can walk and I can speak and I breathe. I can make a difference in something. I may not make $1 million that day. I may not make any money that day. But if I can make a difference, somehow, somewhere, impactful difference, whether it's to the kids, whether it be to somebody in the streets, that's the freedom, and that's what America allows you to do. And that's why I'm okay with it, with the way it is, right? You know, because evolution's going to happen. Either you're going to go with it or you're going to fall by the wayside.
Yeah. And man, listen.
You just got to put your imprint on it.
Absolutely.
And my imprint is going to be through my children.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be the ones that carry that legacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean by managing my emotions. I try to put them in safe places. You know, when my emotions are protected. I don't think that's what we say. People say emotional intelligence, but what it really do is you put it in a place to where it's going to be reciprocated energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So that's why it doesn't make sense for anybody to live outside their kids. That's why it's important. It's a lot of different ways to be there for your kids because they rejuvenate you. They give you back that youthful energy that you've been missing because life, as we talked about earlier, sometimes we can be stuck in a time and not get out of there. But what your kids do is they
drain you. They take your money.
They do.
They get on your nerves.
But all of that is love, though.
That's love.
But it's love, though. And all of that. That's why we talk about God a lot. And I was talking about, I think God is in all things. I mean, we always talk about that.
You think or you know?
I know that.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. I don't view, when I look at nature, when I look at everything, anything that happens, like any movement, any happenstance,
But make sure when you say that God is all things, we mean he's all things.
Absolutely.
The destroyer and
omnipotent, omnipresent, all knowing, all being, all seeing, right?
So just like
Good
he
and
says, says that I'll take and open up the earth and I'll just swallow them all and create a new.
I mean, you ever met any Jerichoans? I'll wait. You ever met one? He destroyed a whole nation.
Right.
Have you ever met anybody from Jericho?
Yeah. And so to your point that you were making earlier, and to, piggyback off of what Jay said, I reckon it has to come. But is that something that we have to shy away from? I think that's something that we should embrace.
Yes.
Because old things passed away. Behold, all things what? Become new.
Become new.
That's why I keep suggesting evolution, because we're going to be at the top of the food chain. We're trending that way. Look at it. We're trending that
absolutely.
way. But that's what I'm saying. I know we like to focus on the like where we're not, but keep moving. We're rusty, but we are. There will be calamity. Oh, yeah. I want us to understand this. I don't want us to live in a fairy tale world. Yeah. Whenever you're birthing something, whenever something is coming into the world or coming into existence, when you get from one reality, because we're going to have a shock to go from the peasant class to the ruling class. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a tough transition, but we think it ain't kumbaya heaven. You have to manage your heaven.
Steve, you know one thing?
Because heaven is here.
You know one thing I figured out? Besides these kids, the greatest some people are going to crucify me when I say this, right? The greatest creation that God himself has created and blessed this world with was that black queen. That black woman. Because she can do all things. Powerful, nurturing, forgiving, loving, caring. She can pull you through things. She give you life, the giver of life. Guide you through life, can do it by herself. She can't create you alone, but she can carry you through this whole life by herself. That's the creation. And I think when we went away from appreciating and respecting that creation, you notice this when you say we're becoming on top. The black woman is the one who's ascending at a more rapid rate than any other ethnicity, genre, gender in this world, because there's multiple genders now. We're not going to get into that. Mm-hmm. But that black woman keep ascending, right? It's supposed to be. Everything tried to knock her down, including the black man. We were the number one oppressor. Let's just call it what it is.
Come on now.
Let's just call it what it is.
Nah, we're not doing that.
We're going to do it.
No, we're
Let's talk about it.
We're not.
What are we going to say?
We're not the number one oppressor.
We're not? Okay,
cool.
Cool.
We're not the number. We're not doing this.
Okay. We're not.
No,
we're not going to go there.
Of course, the person that's closest to you, of course, they're going to cost you the most.
No, it's not what I'm getting at, Steve.
Okay,
but
so
we're going to stop this, so we don't. We can talk about this offline, because I feel like. But
no, I'm just saying, like, we're not that's just a big old statement to make, bro.
That's a big. Are you going to let me get into that?
Go ahead.
Because the same men who were supposed to protect her, right? We were so selfish in our ways and things that we do because we saw for self. We got incarcerated, or we killed ourselves, or we left, right? Because we took off and we left because maybe I'm gonna speak from my experiences. Alcohol was in place, right? The streets was in place, right? Other opportunities besides protecting that black woman and raising those kids were thrown at you. Things that you saw were opportunities were really distractions, and it left that queen, that thing that was meant here to bring us up, to fend for herself. Because they've had it harder than we did. They had. You know, look at today's society, right? I wasn't raised in a two-parent household, right? My stepfather was the best father I ever known. He was there, right? But my mother did the best she could. And as I see now, these mothers are out here. Yeah, now fathers, more black fathers, they are stepping up. They are being more into their lives, right? They are, right? But you got to look at the household and marriages. Marriages ain't a thing no more. 75% of marriages end in divorce.
Well, so this is what I'll say to that. I agree. But then I also think that self-exaltation.
Oh, self-exaltation of the woman? But
can cause a fall.
Why does she have to do that?
Hold on. But what happens is when you start to self-exalt, you start to drop and lose and forget purpose, and nobody wins that way. Because if you are the greatest gift, then what should you be doing? You should be gifting.
But why did they have to self-exalt? They had to do that because they
were given
they
had to endure it. Right.
They were given an option.
If
it wasn't the jail system taking the man away from it. If it
absolutely.
50%.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you. If I polled a Indian woman, and if I polled a Chinese woman, and if I polled a white woman, who would she say is her greatest oppressor? Probably her man.
I wouldn't say that.
She would probably.
I can't say that.
No, what I'm saying is, if she had to poll, of course, what I'm saying is that by proximity,
Actually,
Steve, you got to take in place cultural differences.
So what I'm saying is, this is not a black. The reason why I stopped you, because this is not a black man issue. This is a family issue. This is a husband and wife thing. This is a proximity thing. This is a family. This has nothing to do with black men.
I don't agree with that.
All families have abuse in there. Every culture,
Steve,
every race.
I'm not talking about
so
abuse.
what I'm saying is, I don't want to just make the black man was the greatest oppressor of the black woman. Like we just went out of our way. Do you forgot what happened to us? We got to watch our women get smashed.
I understand that.
But what I'm saying is that, and we got by the masters who were gay, they was smacking us too.
But you do.
So listen, what I'm saying is we got our religion took. We were the male. We were dominant. We were mandingos. We were strong.
So you don't feel like we failed them?
And we got broke down.
I'm asking you a question. Do you feel I'm a black man myself?
I know what I'm saying.
Do you feel like we failed?
Yeah, I there is failure in there.
That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is the framework of how we need to put this now is by way of family. It's by way of proximity. It's by way of who you chose to lay down with. Like the black man chose to lay down with this woman. We do it all the time, but that's not just convenient to our culture.
Man,
this is how these stereotypes and these narratives get repeated over and over again.
So the thing that I agree with is that it has to be family. And so to the point that it was saying, and you made a great point, 75% of people aren't married anymore. Meaning that we're breaking away from the very thing that makes us
Absolutely.
great. Because in order for us to actually really be able to do something, I mean, yes, I have to look at that other brother in the street and say that's my brother. But knowing that that's my wife, those are my children, I can start creating my own village.
But that mindset is far and few between, right? Men nowadays, they're making babies just to make babies. They're laying around just to lay around, right? And they are. And how hard is it for you to meet a woman who has 5 or 6 kids and single? It's asinine to me. How is this even possible? Explain. How is this? And I'm not knocking you if you do. No knock. How is that even possible? Where are they at? You telling me you have 5 black baby fathers and none of them around. And it's bestowed upon us to make sure we raise our children. Even the ones that are not yours, you would raise them. Would you not?
I do that.
Yes.
Would you not?
Absolutely.
So that is a decision and a choice that we make. Even if you don't have to be with the mother to be in the lives of them. But a majority of them, if they're not with the mom, I'm not even gonna say majority.
No. So yeah, I definitely don't think it's majority. But yeah, there is a level of, and guess what we need to do? We need to be accountable to those men and be like, bro, you got to show up. We have to do that.
We have to be accountable by showing them. Not by just telling them.
Right, absolutely.
You have to be the example.
Absolutely.
But they don't. You have to see that, right? In order for you to you have to see like, dang, that man was still there even though things didn't work out. But that's not what's happening. They leave. And I got it. Incarceration is another thing, right? Half of them, 50% of them incarcerated, right? The other 50% of them, or other 15% don't want to do it. Or 20% just don't want to do it. And the other one are part-time. And now TV is raising our kids. Society is raising our kids. What you just talk about, that's when we need to be in the lives raising the kids.
Absolutely. I agree.
We need to be that cornerstone. We used to be able to go to the barbershops. We can't even do that no more. Hell, the barbershop come to you. Really?
That's a fact. Yeah.
You don't even have that cornerstone no more to go to. Hell, church. Hell, you can watch church on TV. They call it church now. No knocking it.
Bedside Baptist.
Bedside Baptist. I could wake up in the morning, put my whole family in bed, watch TV.
But that's what I mean. This is what I mean. These are things in our society that we see slowly evolving. That it's kind of I call it the Sears method. You know how big Sears was back in the day.
Which one?
Sears.
People, yeah.
People thought Sears would never it was a force.
Only thing around now is the Sears Tower.
That's what I'm saying. We never thought roses. Think about it.
Now they still got some roses when you go to the small towns.
But remember how roses was like Walmart
and Kmart.
Yeah,
Kmart, absolutely.
Kmart.
Yeah.
Like think about Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly's still down there now.
But what I'm saying is, it ain't on mainstream. It's still surviving out in the country.
In the countries, yeah.
Like down in the plains somewhere.
Don't mention Piggly Wiggly. There's some people out there like, what in the world is
for y'all who don't know, Piggly Wiggly is Piggly Wiggly was the food line back in the day before it was a food line. It was the Now it wasn't no Whole Foods back then. You had Piggly Wiggly, and what was the other store you had?
Wayne's.
I don't know about Wayne's.
I never heard of Wayne's.
They got Wegmans now, Publix now. You had Piggly Wiggly back in the day. You had Phillips. Bilo. There you go.
Winn-Dixie.
And Kroger's.
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie's and Kroger's.
I like Winn-Dixie.
That's what you had. And then you had Ace Hardware. You didn't have no Target. I don't know when Target came around.
I like Target though.
I love Target. Target got some good stuff in it, actually.
Actually, Target is a company that's over 100 years old, and they actually.
Hey, you keep it up. I go in Target to get the T-shirts all day. What's the?
You just Jay, you don't listen. Did you not hear him talking?
Oh, my bad.
No.
Proper discourse. Listen, hold on.
Proper discourse.
Proper discourse. There we go.
But I'm still a nigga. I'm just letting y'all know.
I was just saying, Target has been around for over 100 years, but it's headed to a fall.
Where did it start? Target started in the north or the northwest? Where did it start?
I don't know what region of the country.
Because it wasn't in the south. It moved down. It's been in the south.
It started off much smaller than what it is now.
It most certainly did.
I give Target credit though, bro.
Yeah.
They kept with their brand.
But
they kept.
Yeah.
Because you know what they played off? Walmart needed a competitor. And
Absolutely.
for a long time,
they had none.
Walmart they were used to go to like shops and knock it down. But there was a certain type of customer that was still that bourgeoisie class when Walmart started getting kind of like raunchy. And
they had Oshkosh in there for a long time.
And people start watching how Target was doing business. Yep. Their prices would be slightly bigger, but the store would be clean. Like you would go in there and it would feel like a freaking experience. Like I like it. It got a spell in Target. Because I go in and I'll be like,
None less than $100 in Target every time.
Like, maybe I need this, and everything sits just right. It's that's what I'm saying. It's right there. I don't know what Target got.
Well, let me ask you this: is it a true statement? You walk in Walmart. Walmart got 2 registers open. You walk out. Look what the hell they got going. It's you walk in Target. Target got 2 registers, but they got all the self checkouts, and you are gonna wait in that line.
But Walmart has already given its soul over to AI. They got.
This is why Target.
They got little robots in the aisle now.
I seen like 5 people stealing the other day. I went to get some Captain Crunch at Walmart. I seen this girl, boop. She was like, boop. And then she would put the other ones.
So we're not knocking you Walmart, but I do Target.
Do you steal from Walmart?
I don't steal from anybody.
Have you ever stolen from Walmart?
No, I've never stolen from Walmart.
You never stolen in your life?
I've never stolen from Walmart.
So you do got sticky fingers.
But I've never stolen. Listen, I've never stolen from Walmart or any other place in my life. I don't steal.
Have you ever stolen?
No.
That's a lie.
No.
He said,
listen,
no.
I've never stolen. Let me tell you what I did one time.
I
walked out of a store with a magazine because I thought it was free.
Here we go.
No.
More stories. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, you remember the day the magazine used to have free in the corner? Me and you about the same age. You probably before your time.
Yeah.
Okay, you used to walk into the store. They used to have free issue magazines.
Yeah.
So I walked into a store. I grabbed a magazine. I walk out the store. I said, hey, Mom. My mother said, hey, you stole that magazine. It wasn't free. So at that time, I had to make a life decision. Do I go back in there, or do I go to the car?
What?
So I chose to go to the car.
Yeah. So my one opportunity.
I knew y'all was lying. I knew y'all was lying.
It was
Go ahead.
It was some candy bars to go and sell them at school.
Oh, he definitely stole them. Oh, he stole them.
And no, I didn't.
This your confession.
That nigga thief. That's why I left my wallet in the car.
He got some. He was a thief, boy. I mean, like he stole people's bikes in the neighborhood, everything. He was.
You hung with him?
And
you hung with your homeboy? He was a thief?
No. He was one of the guys that wanted to be in our crew. We just let him hang around us, but no, we didn't do him like that because he would steal everybody's bike.
But did you take stolen items?
Did y'all hang together?
Absolutely.
Also, you're guilty by association.
Did y'all hang together?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So you've never taken stolen items from somebody before?
No, sir.
You've never taken stolen.
Unbeknownst to me, I've never taken it. If I took it, I never knew.
When they say scratch a lot, find a thief.
So all these TVs and stuff that we don't bought. We know that these people.
Sir, I got receipts for all the TVs I bought.
Anyway, so he was.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
He was stealing some candy bars, right? And he was like, "Man, just take them and just stick them in there." He got caught. He got caught that day at the grocery store. was Food Line. I ended up working in that Food Line later on and became a grocery manager.
So you was atoning for your sins.
And no.
Definitely was in there
And
like
I contemplated stealing that pack of candy bars just so I can sell them in school the next day.
The thought.
I think you was the person. I think you switched the characters in the story.
No,
Right.
absolutely not. I think you did. Absolutely not.
I think you did too.
He tried to pump fake confess.
Hey,
No,
listen,
absolutely not.
hey, listen. He don't want to do no self-incrimination. Hey, listen.
No,
It's not a
absolutely not.
prosecutorial offense right about now. Listen.
But I'm definitely not gonna.
Hey, look,
I'm not gonna lie and
candy
say
bar-
I did not take stolen goods from
sir.
anybody.
Candy bar merchant.
A candy bar thief has a statute of limitation of it, so I think it's like 10 days. You good. You're
Well,
straight.
I didn't, but I've definitely
Stole.
bought stolen property.
Have you
before.
stole?
I lived in the hood. Everybody.
You bought something?
And listen, and it's good. Confession is good for the soul.
Yes.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
I've never, no.
You've
it's okay.
never bought stolen product.
If I bought it and it was stolen, it was unbeknown to me. I never knew.
Gotcha.
Plausible deniability.
Here we go.
Plausible but deniability.
All right,
but
listen.
you
Hey,
knew.
Tim telling us to wrap up, but y'all some fools, bro.
No.
I cannot believe
You
it.
want people to confess. I've never stolen from Walmart. That's my never.
I'm gonna give you his social when we get off the thing, bro. Jay, you or something else. Hey,
I
listen,
swear
man.
for God and 3 more white people. I've never done it.
You don't like white people.
I love white. I don't have a problem with white people. I
love white people.
One of my closest friends that I grew up with, that grew up in the house with my mother, his name was Edward Shaw. He's like a brother to me. He's a white guy. I have no qualms, no issues with white folks.
You know, right now my favorite comedian is white. Shane
my
Gillis,
goodness.
I think his name is Shane
He
Gillis.
has the Netflix series out?
Yes, that dude is hilarious.
It's kind of dry humor. I watched it.
I like
the other
dry
night.
humor, though.
Yeah.
I like Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle is funny.
Yeah.
But he's
He right there with him.
Oh, boy.
I said it.
Hey, listen, and that's a rap, guys. This guy's delusional.
I'm saying like the way he goes about how he says his words. He does the same thing that Dave Chappelle does.
So he builds.
Yeah.
So
he
he
do the same
builds
thing.
all the way to the end. And
Yeah,
then,
like he catch you off guard.
Yeah, but he is, I know who you talk about. He is not a Dave Chappelle. Nowhere near. He has dry humor, and it's
Dave, please forgive him for saying that.
It's certain parts where I found
Forgive him
myself.
for saying
Steve,
that,
when I
Dave.
watched it, I found myself going.
I'm not saying,
Dave, he didn't mean that,
I'm
Dave.
not saying he has a
We want you on the pod.
I'm not saying he. Listen, this is how things work.
Oh, you saying he's in the
You
same
have
genre?
people who like rise to like at certain parts of their career, they're at a certain space, or they're at a certain level, or they kind of hit a like dang, he kind of on this level right here. Does it mean he'll stay at Dave Chappelle's level? No, because Kevin Hart had a run, but Kevin Hart went back down. Then Kevin Hart went back up. So Dave Chappelle wasn't always at this level either. It was Kevin Hart up here at one point. So this is like a fluid thing.
No.
I don't know about that one.
No,
Dave
no,
Chappelle.
no.
Kevin
Dave
Hart from a
Chappelle.
money standpoint.
No, I'm
Yes.
saying Dave Chappelle had to he built on that. He was going around like when he disappeared for that time.
He took advantage
That's what
of the
I'm saying.
space. That
What I'm
yeah,
saying,
he
came
did
back,
that.
We
Yeah.
came back and had to build, but while he was building, Kevin Hart was at the top.
Because nothing beat the Negroes when he came out. Dave Chappelle, the Negroes.
I'm gonna tell you who the real, but like keep it a band. Cat Williams though.
Martin Lawrence too. Martin Lawrence, my
Cat
guy.
Williams.
Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Cat Williams is funny. He's a funny guy. But
He's
Martin
funny,
Lawrence,
but he's
Martin
definitely-
Lawrence is that guy. I just watched the Martin show, and that is timeless.
It is. But Jamie Foxx better though. I'm gonna keep it a band. Martin is more acclaimed. But Jamie Foxx is the best sitcom of all time. And the ones with them pies, the magic pies, that's the best episode of all time. It's been 5 years, can't hold back these.
Ivan, the way you looking at him is the way I'm looking at him.
You know what the
Jamie
viewers are
Foxx
thinking right
better.
now? They're like, he is gonna vote for Trump.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the viewers are saying right now.
He's a MAGA guy. They say he's a MAGA guy. He's definitely a MAGA guy.
MAGA.
And so for everybody though, Steve,
Make
here you
America
go.
great again. Make America great again. Black and white, come and be my friends. Black and white, come and be my friends.
Yo, Steve, somebody's gonna clip this and they're gonna play it.
Oh yeah, definitely
at a
gonna
Trump
play
rally.
it. Yeah, they're gonna be at a Trump rally.
My vote is for the betterment of the American people. And as a soldier, as a father, as a taxpayer, as a contributor, I want the best player on the court. You can call him whoever you want to call him. It can be this guy or that guy. Give me a dog on the court. Give me a dog any day. I don't want to feel good. I don't care about your feelings. Tim, I'm done. Okay, I'm sorry.
This guy crazy. Hey, for that, I think I deserve a Hennessy shot for that.